Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're unpacking one of the absolutely most fascinating modern education experiments I've seen in a long time. We're looking at a super strict month-long challenge where a student used artificial intelligence every single day to study across 4 totally different subjects: biology, economics, English literature, and statistics. We're going to break down exactly what happened when AI got integrated into literally every lecture, assignment, and review session for 30 straight days. So, does studying with AI every day actually improve your grades? That is the ultimate question we're answering today. Now, what makes this specific dataset so incredibly compelling is that it is not just a highlight reel. We aren't only looking at the days where the tech worked like magic. Instead, we're tracking everything with total honesty: the frustrating failures, the flawed methods, the aha moments, and most importantly, the hard grade data from before the experiment and after. Okay, let's dive into this. To give this experiment some true scientific credibility, there had to be strict ground rules. Rule number 1, AI had to be used for every single study session, no exceptions. Rule 2, and this is absolutely critical, the students still had to do the thinking themselves first. This was never about just outsourcing the heavy lifting. It was about actually attempting the problem or reading the material before ever pulling up the AI. And Rule 3, honest daily tracking of every prompt used, what actually worked, and what scores came back. To give you a sense of the timeline, this 30-day journey really broke down into 4 phases. Week 1 was just about getting started and making plenty of mistakes along the way. Week 2 shifted toward finding methods that actually clicked. Week 3 turned out to be the major turning point for exam prep. And Week 4, well, that was the final push where the exhaustion definitely started to set in. Let's start with the struggles of Week 1 because, well, the problem wasn't really the AI tools themselves. It was knowing how to actually talk to them. When you just throw a vague prompt at it, something like, "Help me study this," you end up with a really generic, passive summary. It's basically useless. But the real game changer was shifting to a structured, active recall approach. By stating what you actually understand first, and then asking the AI for specific corrections and 5 practice questions, you're actively engaging with the material. And honestly, that little shift changed everything. So, what did that initial shift actually yield? Well, the very first grade result of the experiment was a 72% on a biology quiz. Now, keeping in mind the previous average in biology was a 68%, this was definitely a nice little bump. But, just remaining perfectly impartial here, it was way too early in the month to tell if the AI was the sole reason for the increase. I mean, it could have just been a slightly easier quiz, right? The whole method definitely still needed some refinement. And that refinement actually arrived in Week 2. This brought us to a massive breakthrough in the study workflow, which we'll call the flip. During that first week, AI was basically being used as step 1 to just summarize the reading. But the big breakthrough was flipping that workflow entirely. You attempt the work first, you use AI second, every single time. The AI essentially became a tool for checking your understanding and filling in the gaps only after you'd already done the mental heavy lifting. To show you exactly how this worked in practice, listen to this specific prompt that was used right after economics lectures. Check my understanding. What did I get right? What did I get wrong? And what important concept did I miss entirely? Finding out exactly where your blind spots are while the lecture is still completely fresh in your mind, that proved to be infinitely more valuable than just passively rereading your notes 3 times over. Now, what's really interesting about this is how the grades immediately started backing up this new active method. Following the implementation of the flip and those targeted gap-filling prompts, the economics grade jumped from a 74% average up to an 81%. Statistics saw a really similar leap, moving from a 79% up to an 88% on a tough problem set. The pattern here was starting to become undeniable. Okay, moving into Week 3, which was really the turning point of the whole month. The student developed this highly effective 4-step AI exam prep system for huge mid-semester biology exam. Step 1, using AI to generate a high-level study map. Step 2, getting super clear concept explanations. Step 3, having the AI generate a full mock exam to take under real closed-note conditions. And finally, Step 4, taking those mock exam results and using them for highly targeted drilling. I really want to look closer at that targeted drilling workflow because it is literally brilliant. Let's say the mock exam identified a specific weak spot, like the steps of the Krebs cycle. The student instructed the AI to ask just one question at a time, wait for an answer, immediately explain any confused steps, and then repeat the entire process continuously until they got 5 correct in a row. It's like having a relentless, perfectly customized tutor focused entirely on your exact point of weakness. So, what was the result of that incredibly targeted week 3 system? An 86% on the biology midterm. Just to put that into perspective for a second, the prior average for biology exams was a 71%. That is a massive 15 percentage point jump. This was the exact moment in the data where it became completely obvious that this system, when used correctly, genuinely and dramatically works. But then came week 4, and with it, fatigue. The whole novelty of the tech had worn off, and relying on pure discipline over excitement revealed a really crucial truth about studying with technology. AI amplifies your effort. It does not replace it. The student actually noted that when they just went through the motions with the AI without real, genuine mental engagement, their retention completely tanked. AI can organize your lack of effort, sure, but it absolutely cannot learn the material for you. And the final tally brilliantly illustrates just how impactful this all was. By the end of the 30 days, across the board, every single subject saw a really substantial point increase. Biology jumped 14 points, hitting an 82% average. Economics gained 9 points. English literature improved by 7 points. And statistics saw a massive 12-point increase, landing at a 91% average. Honestly, the data just speaks for itself here. Looking at the big picture, the overall average before the experiment was a solid 73%, but after 30 days of daily AI integration, it jumped to an 84%. That's an 11-point gain. That is quite literally the difference between a whole letter grade or 2. Now, we do have to include an honest caveat here, for sure. Tracking every single study session naturally increases a student's motivation and attention. So just paying closer attention to how you study probably improve these grades independently, right alongside the AI. So, distilling this entire 30-day journey down, we're left with 3 huge, actionable lessons that you can start applying today. Number 1, prompt quality determines everything. Specific, structured prompts yield powerful results. Number 2, attempt the work before you ask the AI. Every single time, do the heavy lifting first. And number 3, consistency compounds. A daily 10-minute review session with AI builds far more lasting retention than pulling some intense all-night cramming session right before the test. So what does this all mean for you? Well, it leaves us with a challenge. What subject are you going to test with AI first? Seriously, pick one subject you're currently struggling with. Apply this active recall method, flip your workflow so you attempt the work first, and track your own results. Can you replicate an 11-point gain in your own life? The tools are literally sitting right there on your computer, waiting to be used. The only question is, how are you going to use them?